Hello and welcome to Slice of Ace. A few months back, I released a video on being a homoromantic asexual. When I released that video, I wasn't particularly satisfied, and I've been looking for a way to make a follow-up video of sorts, not to replace it, but to add on and to continue that discussion about what my orientation means to me. Hopefully, with today's video, I'm going to expand on my thoughts about being a homoromantic asexual. I touched upon this in the previous video, that my romantic and sexual orientations are both distinct and connected. I definitely wouldn't be the same person without both of them, and whilst there is a sort of dichotomy between the two in terms of the attitudes the society has on them, and how I'm treated because of my orientation, there isn't a clear line between me as an asexual and me as a gay man. I like to think of my homoromanticism as my outward-facing orientation. In general, the way people view me based on my orientation is based solely on being gay. I still face discrimination and homophobia the same way as an allo gay person would. And generally when I come out to someone, I just tell them I'm gay. The reason this is not because I want to be dishonest, but it gets across the information I like guys. I doubt you would find many people who don't know what gay means, but on the other hand, if I were to tell them, oh, I'm homoromantic asexual, then a lot of the time I'll be met with confusion and I'll be met with a lot of questions, and if I'm just talking to some random person, I don't really want to have to explain my orientation to them. I don't want in my daily life to have to explain myself, and to be honest, what I do, or in my case don't do in the bedroom on a daily basis. What's important to the people around me is who I want to be in a relationship with. That affects social interactions and how people see you. Whereas, in general, sex is quite a taboo subject, so to talk about my asexuality to someone, especially someone who I don't know very well, seems like a bit of an awkward and a inappropriate thing to do. I guess that's why I prefer identifying and presenting myself as gay 90% of the time. The one exception I would make to telling people you're asexual is if you are interested in a relationship with them. Of course, for 99% of people you interact with, it's not really their business to know about your sex life or your lack of a sex life or your sexual interests. It's not really something that you go around sharing. However, if you are interested in a relationship with someone, especially if that person is allosexual, then I think it is important to share as soon as possible that you are asexual and explain in detail what asexuality means for you. Because a lot of people identify with ace and their experiences can be very different. So if someone is, maybe they've come into contact with asexuality before, but a different interpretation of asexuality, let's say, and as always, we're all individuals, we would all be comfortable with very different things. So it is important in that case to clarify that you're asexual and to use that as a label for communication. However, as you know, that is only one half of my orientation. Asexuality is maybe more important to me personally than my homoromanticism is. I identify so much more with asexuality and the asexual community than I do with the gay community. So whilst gay is my outward-facing persona, it is how I present myself in day-to-day life, asexuality is more important to me personally, and I consider myself asexual first and gay second. Recently, I've seen a lot of people on the Avon forums asking how aces generally identify themselves and explain their orientation to others. For alloromantic aces, it is quite common to just identify with your romantic orientation and the corresponding straight, bi, pan, gay of. And as you've probably realised, Diana, this is the mantra that I would follow as well. In my opinion, labels are good for two things: succinctly and clearly giving information. So, if you tell someone you are gay, it makes clear that you are interested in a relationship with a guy, whether that be romantically, sexually, or anything else. The other thing it's good for is making you feel like you belong and making you feel content with yourself. For me, gay is my outwards facing persona. It is what I use to communicate that I like guys, without having to go into the minutiae of my orientation. Asexuality is for me. When I found out about asexuality, everything made sense. I felt alone and broken for so long when I was younger, and knowing about that label of asexuality that so many people share made me feel like I wasn't wrong, feel like I did belong somewhere. These two parts of myself, my romantic and my sexual orientation, are equally important to me, but in massively different ways. So I hope that's helped clarify my thoughts about my orientation and my attitude towards my orientation to you. I feel that my previous video, whilst it was very popular, I wasn't happy with the results and the message that I gave. This video is kind of more of an in-depth and a thought-out overview of my attitude towards being homoromantic asexual. I would love to hear your thoughts, so if you agree with me, or alternatively if you disagree with me and have a different interpretation of what it means to be homoromantic asexual, then feel free to comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. I post videos every Saturday, so if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. That is all I had to say today. Have a wonderful day, and I shall see you next time. I face the same prejudices